of those maps. The players are seeing those maps for the first time now. Of course, there is some sort of overview, but playing the map versus watching it is already a huge difference. So let's take a look how the map is looking like. Everest by the Schras. It is a setting, of course, on a mountain.
Oh, nice.
And there you can see it. There is the snow. It's only a visual effect, but you can see it's very foggy, and that's one of the things that I was looking out for, because now looking onto the turns, you can only see 2 blocks in front of you.
I feel like it's alright. I don't have that much issue. I'm spectating on patrols and feels like I have a lot of vision around the I don't know. Maybe it's foggy on your end. It's not too foggy on my end.
It's quite foggy on my end, really.
Okay, I'm gonna check on your stream though. Then.
It's very foggy on my end.
So on my end, it's not that foggy.
Yeah, well, it is hard to drive like that.
If you are on patrols, it's just bonked on it. Okay, it's really foggy. Damn. It's not that foggy on my end. It would be drivable like nearly normal.
Okay, so but we have Azox only seeing black, gray quarters. Anyone else? Same. You were talking about that.
Yes.
That is very unlucky to have that, because
I think it's just a matter of time for the texture to load. I don't know if it's really heavy or things like this, but it's just a matter of priority for the game to load. They load the circuit, the cars, and then probably the textures.
Yeah, the textures still need some time to load. But also now the question is, with the fog, is it only for you that you maybe don't have the fog on your end?
You can hop on my stream. I have a visual effect of snow, but the fog is really low. Like nearly close to no fog at all.
I'm gonna check actually. So guys, you can also check. I don't
have some. Maybe because I'm on follow.
No, I don't know. Let me check. But right now I'm just following Golden Nugget. But that was one of the features that I think we talked about 1 or 2 races ago. That fog can really be a killer for that, you know? It can be a killer for all of that. But Golden Nugget just seems to be good POV, because he is on first position. And I just followed him here for 1 lap. As I'm currently waiting to your stream to be loaded in. So let's take a look onto Atypick's POV. You can also check it out here if you want to, and also give him a follow. But oh yeah, it's not foggy at all for you. Damn.
But compared to you.
Oh my god.
Like, it's nothing.
Interesting. Not sure what that is actually. Like,
I don't know what triggered it. Like, did you went for the follow camera maybe? Cause I don't know. It's the follow. Oh my god, it's
look at that. Follow all.
Probably.
No, there's nothing. Wow,
okay.
What the hell? Like, interesting though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder. I really wonder. Like, I don't think I'm the only one not really having that big of a fog there.
Interesting. I don't know, but we are seeing times of 102. 47 laps are being raced, but of course we can hardly see anything. It's hard to really distinguish between the turns. But having a snowstorm
there are blind turns.
Yeah.
Oh
Dexter's doing it quite nicely though. It's just harder to learn the map, but you know, after some time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good of a player to be able to do this. Like, there's quite a lot of turns. Yes, they will be really different. Most of them are really blind. They're not really technical, I think. Or long turns, but yeah, it's just like you see 2 blocks ahead of you.
Fog strength can be influenced by the graphic settings and themes for some reason, and Dexter doesn't see fog by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's probably same same situation as myself.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dexter's racing also looks super clean. But then, of course, you know, if one person cannot see fog, it should be dealt for every player like that. There's no.
Yeah, I do agree.
Press F5. I mean, Dexter should not press F5. Interesting. So
I really love like the innovation of it. But sometimes you really wonder that, like, did they benchmark the thing? It's not like it's a critique or something like it. It's just like you never know with Trackmania how things are going to behave. I really love like the addition of the snowstorm. Last week we were talking about the sandstorm because we were like on a Martian like planet in a desert, and oh, okay. So here a tiny message from the admin console, but yeah, I really like the innovation. It's just like with sometimes with Trackmania, you just don't know how with graphic configuration how things are going to behave, and that's a bit unfortunate to be honest, because I really love the addition, but yeah.
But then, of course, what is the point when some players have fog and some others don't, you know? What is the point in that? It's
yeah, like... yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a tricky question. Do you cancel the race? Do you... Because it's unfair, and we really want to promote, I think, fair racing there. And if players don't have fog, then it's far easier for them to just win.
Yeah.
I hope like the press F5 kind of command allows the player to clear the majority of the fog.
Or when we go into the qualifying, because then for everyone it should be loaded in.
Yes.
To be honest. So how many players do we have here? We have 38 players actually who have finished at least one lap. So that is cool to see. Dazzle with a 6 minute and 10 time. That is quite fast. Wicked Dazzle. But of course, no, I'm joking. He probably just was standing still and waiting for it to load. As Sensei is on a roll. 1 second out of Razorlight, who's on P2. And Dexter is on 3rd position. But that is a nice time from Sensei. I'm not sure if he's playing with a fog or not. But of course, just, you know, you see it from my POV. The turns are so blind and they're just tailored through them as it was nothing. So it seems that they have a different fog POV themselves or no fog at all.
Yeah, it looks like most of the streamers don't have the same fog as you. You probably need to do something about it though, because it would be a nightmare just to spectate, I think.
Yeah, how can I disable it then? Cannot press F5 or anything.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Maybe try to reconnect.
Let's do it.
To the. But yeah. Other than that, yeah, there's one streamer who looks like he doesn't really. He has fog, like very heavy fog. But yeah, you see Wingo Beer, Wosan, Dexter, Petros, they all have like the same kind of configuration. Very light fog on their screen.
Yeah, now I have... okay, never mind. Well,
yeah. Oh
shit,
God.
Here we go again.
How did... I'm like...
How can I turn off fog?
I don't know how I did it. But yeah,
you're just a wizard. I'm just gonna spectate like this. This will be a fun race then.
Yeah, would be interesting, but I would be able to see more things. So I will try to call for you.
So Atypick has this POV also streamed, so you can also check it out there. But I think you're having the full experience here. Actually, we have the good sunny days for the last couple of days, and it's kind of unfitting to have a race like this today. But hey, it is what it is. As I'm currently following Neko, who's on P number 9, just above the 1 minute barrier. Sensei, and then we have Better Toast, who has improved his PB, and with that also set the fastest lap with a 59.234. So good time by Better Toast. Then Shumi on 3rd, but a good time here from Better Toast. Not sure what he's doing. Let's take a look onto him.
Yeah. I was just watching the number of streams that we have in the of the Trackmania Formula League on Trackmania. Like there is like, I think maybe 5 to 10 streams that are not Trackmania Formula League related.
Wow.
And all the rest is Trackmania Formula League, which is great, which is really great.
That's very nice. And Marina, that's what I was referring to as well. Not sure.
Wosile has just no fog at all, like no effects whatsoever.
But well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I said not sure what he's doing because I don't see anything. That's why I'm talking about that.
I thought they had light fog or something like this. They just have nothing, which I feel like you could technically understand. Even if it is a casual kind of event, they still want to compete, and it's optimum for you to not have fog. But they may have. I came back. Suddenly, I don't have the fog animation though. So did they?
Yeah.
Could it be activated just like the rain?
Yeah, I think so. So now I have like light fog for me.
Oh, nice.
So guys, I can see. I finally can see something here.
You can finally see something.
Look at that, guys. Now I can see everything. So Katusu, aka Pex with the fastest time, he is ahead of Wosal, and also the outside of it is snow. I want to say foggy, but snowy. So if you touch it, you tremendously slow down. But yeah, the weather is clearing up, but also cool to see this gradual change of it. You know, just not this, you know, snap and you have no fog, but just gradually the weather is increasing and it's not foggy anymore. So that's very cool. As I
just like the rain, it's really progressive as well. Like does by it's not suddenly full raining.
Yeah. So what is the pit entry like actually? Is Katusu going for it? Maybe Voyager is going for it. Let me take a look. Let's go ahead with Voyager, who's on P5 at the moment. I haven't seen the entry yet.
Right at the end. Right there.
Ah, okay, to the right.
On the very right.
Interesting. So
Voyager to go for another go.
Okay, but he will probably pit after that. Just also to practice it. But the entry looked quite long actually with that uphill turn. But we're gonna find out. But very cool map here from the Chasse. Nice to see that. Everest it is. And of course, very cool themed maps. I mean, the map last week was already quite crazy. And now we have this. So what can even top all of those maps that we have seen already? Like, it's incredible. Like, what players are able to build in this game. It's very nice.
Yeah. It is. The map feels like not claustrophobic, but really tiny compared to the one that we had last week. It felt really big.
Yeah, this one is, I would say, compact describes it the best.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, pit stop. Okay, the entry's quite early on though. Voyager. Okay, there is the speeding limit by the looks of it. So it's quite late, as you might have seen. Voyager was confused with that. As I want to check again. Like, can you drift there? Okay. So you have like an additional turn, and then you have to slow down. I see. So an additional turn leads to like, I would say 5 to 10 seconds longer of a pit stop. So maybe above 30 seconds of a pit stop. So it might not be worth it to go for as many pit stops as some, as in some other races. Maybe that's the strategy here. But of course, you never know.
I don't know. I feel like it is still really quick in terms of pitting. Small pit lane. The entry is not that big as well. Like the time you spend running at 130. I don't know. I have mixed feeling about this. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be really quick in terms of pit stop time.
Mm-hmm.
But then, how do you feel about the map? Is it a map? Is it a map where you will be using more fuel or more tires, looks like a lot of turns where you could drift it. So if you were to look at the percentage, the tire are taking a heavy beating compared to the fuel. So really, I don't know. It's sometimes really tricky on maps where you are pitting for the tires and not the fuel. And they tends to be the more interesting ones, just because like you generally like you try to push for the limit, and when your tires are gone, it's difficult to drive on red tires.
Definitely, and one factor that you also have just briefly mentioned with that is the fact that if you are in 29% fuel, it doesn't affect your driving, but if you're in 29% of tires, it will. So maybe we're gonna see more pit stops, and you were mentioning it correctly. 65% tires for Wolfsal and 71 liters of fuel in the tank. So that means that tires are consumed more than fuel in this very drift heavy map. You can see drifts all over the place. Maybe players will go for one less additional drift turn, but also this hairpin here in this sector, and also this whole like just tiny section there. Maybe here's a section where you can just not drift at all, but then you enter a drift again, and then there is this 180 turn here as well, which Wolfsal is going through. So a lot of drifts are happening, and also you are really able to make mistakes here quite easily on this map. I mean, you cannot really fly out, but you have like this, like let's say 300 to 400 kilometers per hour at the end of the lap, and that's maybe also a factor why the pit stop could be really costly, because that's literally one of the most speedy sections of the map. Of course, you have this one here as well where you're quite fast, but slowing down from 400 to 130 and then to 0 at the end, and also do an additional turn, will make the pit stop maybe a bit more costly than you might seem to be in this case.
So if you were to say, like, does this map looks more like map number 1 or 2? For me, it would be looks a lot more like map number 1, where it was a speedy map where you could get a lot of speed, but those turns were really tricky sometimes. So it could be a map for Patros or Wolfsal,
or for Dexter.
True.
What about Mr. Dexter?
Yeah, we had a masterclass last week from Dexter. Like, yes. No mistakes whatsoever. Like, it's sometimes it's the story with Dexter. We know it. We know him to be a really quick driver, but sometimes he is prone to errors, and some errors tends to cost him the race. He just drove a flawless race last week. I hope he can redo the performance, but yeah, Wolfsal and Patros, especially for Wolfsal, who had a quiet race last week, looks to be in great shape.
Yes, he does. He indeed does. But I mean, I think we have like more contenders for the victory this season compared to Wolfsal and just Patrose, who just were running away. You know, Dexter is there. Then also Voyager, who's on a very, very solid 4th position right now. That is just great to see that he, in his first season right now, is already like only 100 points behind them, and one good race and maybe even another good qualifying can do him very good, because
he had a pole position. Yes. Race number 2.
Yeah, he had a pole position, that's what I mean. And right now he's also on 1st position, so 1 minute 30 left, and he seems to be ready on that. Very cool to see this, that Voyager is doing very nicely here, as we have 19 players who have crossed the 1 minute barrier. Razorlight P20 right now with a 1 minute .015, 1.6 seconds behind, but gaps are not that large, to be honest, between the players. And we have how many players? 44 players who have at least finished one round here on this map, so that's great to see. Only 6 players are missing out. Still a very good statistics. I would say everything above 40% is very nice. And 1 minute left, and right now there's Voyager who will win the free practice, but of course free practice is only 4 players to get to know the map. The big deal starts after this, where we go into the qualifying, where we have 5 minutes time, or where players have 5 minutes time to drive a flying lap, but only one flying lap, and the best 13 players will get themselves the first points on this day. And then after this we have the full race with tire management, with fuel management, which will take place with 47 laps.
Yeah, I think you summarized everything so perfectly. I'm just going to leave and you can cast alone.
Okay, see ya. No, don't leave.
I'm just kidding. Oh, a word right in the pit. Oh, could be a pit entry where wallbangs would be really powerful. Just after a turn, wallbang into pit entry. It's forbidden.
Not allowed.
It's forbidden.
Yep.
It's forbidden. If you were to get caught doing it, you would get like 10-second penalties.
Yes.
Depending on, is it like 10-second penalties or 5-second penalties? And Wosile did it twice.
I have to check the rulebook for that, but I would say that it's just 10 seconds.
I think it's more like a case-by-case scenario. Like if you were to do it like every single time, and you get caught every single time, you would take like a harsher punishment compared to Wosile, who did it like once really intentionally, and the first time was like questionable. And but yeah, here goes free practice into the qualifying. As you said, 5 minutes to score your best lap, and you will be placed into the grid, and you also be able to win the first points available.
Exactly. So the first position will go home with 20 points in the qualifying. Second 16, then 14, 12, 10, 8, and then down from that in 1 intervals to 1 point that the 13th position is getting. So let's take a look who will actually get themselves the first couple of points. We have players who will just wait in the pit for a bit, for example, Patrosa and also Chris, who always do that and just wait for a bit until all of the others have done it. But of course, 30 seconds of warm-up to prevent joint lags, and everyone has the full capacity of having to race all of those 5 minutes.
Really quick warm-up. But yeah, Patros really love to wait a bit. Wosile is the kind of driver who just like right on.
Yeah.
Try to do the best lap and put the first time on the board. Patros like to take his time a tiny bit. He's generally 1 lap behind in terms of time yeah, like it's just 1 lap behind.
But we see also...
I was looking for my word, I wasn't able to find it. I was like, oh
also
God,
the exit of the pit is like a... You go down just 1 block there. Interesting.
Yes.
So with that, you also lose a little bit of time if you don't do it correctly. So also, you shouldn't neglect those things. So the pit in general looks quite long, to be honest, for me, compared to other ones. But who should we follow? I'm currently with Golden Nugget, who is just, I would say, on P10 right now when it comes to the progression. Overtakes the one or another player, as we see some players just risking it out. Kaku also there. And Golden Nugget doing it very nicely. But look at Voyager again, zoom in here and not making a mistake in this one.
Wosile on a very good lap for now, 4 purple sectors, and yeah, he would be the first edge mark to really beat, but yeah, nothing really impossible to beat.
Volsa already 2 seconds ahead. You have to consider everyone started at the same time. Maybe Volsa just had the best exit out of the pit stop, but right now it is the fight here between Azox, Trilux, and also Voyager. But we see some mistakes. And also Trilux with a very wide line. Voyager is doing it quite nicely though. But Trilux is having a good run at the moment. So he could maybe get himself some points, as he's also coming from a tech background. Trilux looking very nice, but look how far Wosile is already ahead. I think Wosile will set at least a sub 1 minute time, maybe if not even faster than that. Also Trilux here with a very inside line. We see one mistake there by a player who he was battling it out with. But let's take a look onto Trilux time. 1 more turn. Voyager is also finishing. Wosile with a 58.3. What a time is that, dude? Time. Oh my god, man.
That's a great time, eh? And he struggled a tiny bit on the middle section of the track. He had 4 yellow sectors so yellow does not improve on his best sector time. But other than that, yeah, he had another yellow sector, but a purple one as well, and the rest was green. So green, you do improve on the sector. Sector is from a checkpoint to another one.
Yes. So guys, I'm not focusing on Neil because Neil was a player. I mean, where he even is, he's 27th. Why should I focus on someone who's 27th? No offense here, but I rather spectate someone who's in the top 10.
Where is Patros though? Where is Patros?
20th.
Okay, that's a bad qualifying.
Yes, Walsall wins it.
It's still a bad qualifying from 14th to all the way down to 14th to 40, but yeah, Walsall with the absolute bomb in terms of time. It's 3/10 in front of Danik B. Danik B with a great time as well.
Yeah, Danik B also super strong. Asterich on 3rd, so his teammate is showing how he's doing it. Neil on P27. So, hey, Neil, step up your game. And then we maybe gonna spectate you at some point. No, of course, I'm joking, but you know, it's hard to... Sometimes the battle on the top 20 position is fun, but you know, it's only for 1 point, you know? If you're 20th or 21st, it's like 1 point of a difference. So we rather go for the top 10 battles. And Neil, good luck to you in the race. I am of course only bantering around. I mean, already reaching Div 1 and staying in here is a great accomplishment. As who is your pick today to win the race?
Let's go something crazy like Voyager.
Okay.
It would be great. Probably not going to win. Would be great to see him on the podium.
I'll go with Danik B. Also something crazy.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's a good pick as well.
Have to go with Daniel.
P2 from qualifying, P3 from last season in the general ranking, in the driver ranking. So yeah, that's a great pick.
But I mean, I think at the end it will be just Mosa, but...
Yes. Well, we have to make it interesting.
Yeah,
right?
we have
Those
to.
guys are not here to help us. They are just here to dominate. Patros Warsail and I would say Dexter. And at the beginning of the season, I wasn't sure that Dexter would even show up, like be a contender. I'm really glad he had that great race number 2, where he took the win and fastest lap, and it really made him back in terms of being a contender for a win. And you could have a great case on Dexter is going to win today. Yeah,
I mean, imagine a back-to-back victory for Dexter. That would be insane.
Would be
and
really
with that,
great momentum.
Yeah. Dude, Neil, listen, Neil, if you press tab, you see the laps that have been played, but right now, of course, not, because in the warm-up, but you have to figure that out before. Yeah. So maybe a bit too late to think about strategies, but hey, I mean, what can I expect from a P27 player in the qualifying? Oof.
That's a massive
dude. I'm not rude, dude. I'm just bantering, mate. I'm just bantering. All good. All good. I hope you can digest that. I hope you can digest that bantering from my side. And let's go ahead and wait until the 40 seconds have passed. So I think I just lost a Twitch follower with Neil, if he's even following my channel. Maybe not because of that. But Voyager is a good pick. Maybe his Voyage will be on P number 1 today. Maybe. Could be cool.
Playing these nicknames in game time.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it would be great like to see someone else win in Div 1 except like Warsail, Patros and Dexter. The number of I think like chat doesn't really believe it. Like I think there is only Scrappy and Massa who probably took a win from Patros, Warsail and Dexter in Division 1. may have been another winner at some times in season 1 or 2, but I think like season 3 it was only Massa, maybe Scrappy.
Yeah, in the first couple of races. We had like 4 different winners there in the first 4 races. But we are starting with the race. Let's take a look who will go into the lead in the first turn. It looks like Aserich already risking the hell out of that. So he has made that first mistake. Vosal on first, Danikby on second, Voyager on third. And then we have Azox behind Lars, also with a good start. Deska, Yosh, Kaku also on that 8th position. But of course positions are changing like nothing here. But I think Tommy is a good POV to follow here with a nice M&M skin.
I'm really surprised Kaku is not in the same team for the TMFL as Vosal. The same structure. If I'm not mistaken. Vosal is in soon, right? He was in Game World.
He was in Game World before, but I think he joined Sun very late on. I think just before all of that Trackmania Formula League shenanigans started.
Yeah.
And also Beta Toast giving up. I'm not sure what happened there, but it seems that he is maybe didn't unbind the dings, you know, the button, the give up button. As Tommy still holding strong. We have Vosa leading, Danikby on second, Azox on third, and Voyager dropping down a bit. But where is Mr. The Mr. You know? Where's Vos? Patrosa, I mean. I want to say Papu, dude.
10. Yeah, he's P4. He's there.
Okay,
dude.
How didn't I see him?
Right behind Deska.
Right behind Deska. Not Dexter. Deska also, the Polish powerhouse, looking great.
Wait, where is Dexter?
Let's see, where is Dexter?
37.
Okay. 36 now.
I desynced, got brought it through the map, ended in turtle. Oh my god, that's a massive feels bad for Beta Toast.
Yeah, that's a feels bad, man. Those things can of course happen. Should not happen.
He had a
though.
great qualifying as well. Oh my god.
Those things can just happen. But Dexter, maybe a good POV to follow here, but he is risking so much. They're 6 seconds behind. None of us went for Dexter. Then we also see ahead of him DJ Ruffy, one of the new faces in Div 1, and making that mistake, unfortunately. And then Shorty, also not with the best start, as well as Wingo Bear. 34, 33, and 35. For those players who usually always end up in the top 15. But Wingo Bear is dead here in this one as well. Let's go a little bit further ahead. Trilux on 26th. Then I see him battling it out with a lot of players here actually. But we see a lot of mistakes there as well. As Shumi is also on 21st. But of course now I have to give Mr. Neil some screen time. Because we have a lot of Neil fans here. As he sets a good time here of a 59.59. But right now getting overtaken by Shumi and Funky Jug. Great fight for that top 20 position. Katusu aka Pex ahead of him, but losing a bit of speed. He has set the fastest lap just beforehand, but of course a fastest lap doesn't win you anything. You know, maybe some points, but the points are not worth it when you end up in the 20th position after all.
Boom.
Oh no, what is... Yeah, okay, Neil. Well, let's go to the next person.
So for now, your pick, Danikby, is doing great. He's only like 2 seconds behind. No, not even like 1 second behind Wosai.
Yeah.
So great pick on Danikby for now. It just really depends on, in terms of strategy, where is he sitting compared to Wosai. Looks like he's like on the same one, same consumption in terms of tire and fuel. So far, Danik is doing great.
Yeah, looking very nice. And also hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to Easy. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing good as well as everyone else in the chat. I hope you all have a good Sunday as we have top-notch, high-voltage Trackmania Formula League action. And yes, chat, that was Neil. And he made that mistake on that inside fence, touching it there. And my theory is, I mean, Team 4 Wheels is coming from a Timeattack background, you know? And the thing is, Timeattack players tend to risk a lot. And you cannot get this risk out of you. Even when you play a lot of like endurance competitions and stuff. And that's why they still make those mistakes, because sometimes it's not that punishing. Danik B and Wolsal are very consistent drivers. Danik B has played the Trackmania Grand League beta season, also a lot of United Endurance competitions, and he is looking very strong. But look at that Aserich with a 57.77. Damn, what is that time?
He clinched back P4, fighting currently with Azog for P4 and P5. So they are just switching places there. And they will start to, like, the times will start to drop a bit, just because they are in orange to yellow tires. And suddenly the car feels a lot heavier and doesn't really brake that well, turn that well as well, and re-accelerate that well as well. So, yeah, I expect the times to drop a bit. But so far, I don't see, except for Patros, who is sitting with 43% tires. That's the only really difference compared to the others.
Yes, I agree. And Patrose again with a different strategy. Maybe there's one turn where he is not drifting, or maybe 1 or 2 turns, or not drifting that aggressive, because 40% versus 33% could really mean one more lap for one or another player, and also just driving a bit faster in that lap. But of course, then he has to go for maybe one less pit stop or something like that. So Patrose might be a good pick today for the victory again, as he might have the best engineer again. But Asterich with a great race on P4. Wolsal and Danik B just 1 second ahead, so good fight to focus on here, as there is no fog. Maybe the fog will come in, but of course now it would be very inconsistent to have, as Asterich also tailors himself very good through those turns. But his time is very fast. Very good to see that. But he makes that mistake now, so Azox overtakes him. And he was...
Speedy was on a great lap, but I think Asari is on an even better lap.
Who?
Probably
Azox?
Asari. Does not improve though. That's a bit unfortunate.
So Asrich already going for the pit stop, and that's the toll that you take. For risking it out very much. Lap 7 pit stop, that would mean 7, 14, 21, 28, 35.
That's great to see. Like, if you were to look at the sector analysis, you see every driver being in the orange. Like, nobody improves. Everyone is struggling. Like, it's really... And prior to this lap, everyone was technically in the green. Some purple sectors, like nobody here is putting a good performance.
Interesting though. I mean, Wolsal still marching through, but I'm not. This one is a bit too much if I go for that. As Wolsal goes for the pit stop, quite conservative here, but accelerates a little bit. Okay, looking great, and he is standing still. Okay, behind her we have Patrose, Danik B, Azox, everyone in the pit lane here. Let's see who gets the best pit stop exit in this one. Will be quite interesting to see that.
I'm going to follow the madman who stayed on the track with 40% tires. Dan FS, Sensei as well with really low tires, but Dan is on 11%. He has plenty. The track is relatively short, so 14% is technically enough for him to complete the whole turn. He wants to avoid every mistakes he can. Dexter decided to go for another lap as well, currently sitting for P4, so does Yosh and Mopel.
Maybe Dexter goes for the lap 10, and then lap 10 again, to go for 10, 20, then 29, 38, and then to the ending. Okay, never mind. He doesn't go for this. He goes into the pit stop now. So maybe a bit too uncertain for that. Den as well. Sensei, Moppel, Yosh, and also Krakus, as well as Tommy, Joey, and Freezer. Shadenis, Golden Nugget. 10 players will go for that strategy. And also Shorty. Shorty with an interesting strategy. Look at that. 31% of tires, but 14 seconds behind the leader. So... this will not be a race where the strategy from Shorty could be any good, actually.
Sensei? Tires? I don't know. really low. They are
Yeah.
really, really low.
4.8%, but it should be enough.
There is still plenty of turns to do. No, okay, no, never mind. Last hairpin. It's still really, really low. He's lost tremendous amount of time. He's 3 seconds point two behind his best time. Yeah, that's a no good. He's able to brake, heavy on the brake as well. But yeah, it was really, really close.
Yeah, so Sensei still in, not DNFing or anything. Look at that, 10 pit stops, and now Wolsal is leading again. Danik B on second, Azox, Patrose, Speedy on P5. Good to see that. Then there is Kaku, and Aserich is out, giving up. Okay.
Oh.
Aserich, what happened there? He had a good race, but...
True, it was really, really fast. Fastest lap as well,
So maybe he at least gets those points.
Yes.
But there's still like a lot of laps to go though.
But you generally see, except for like race number 2 where Dexter was able to improve lap after lap after lap after lap. I feel like sometimes this, especially on this track where the more you degrade your tires, the lesser your performance will be. You have a small window of opportunity to do your fastest lap, and if everything does not really align well, you could technically have Asri like just keeping this fastest lap. You saw in race number 1 where Kututsu kept his fastest lap for nearly the entire race, and he did it on lap 2.
True, but now Wolsal is maybe on a good lap again, and also we have DJ Ruffy with the DNF. So another DNF here. How many do we already have? We have already 5.
5? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ruffy,
yes.
Aserich, Volsky, Better Toast, and also Shumi skins. Oh my god, so 39 players right now are only left on the track, as Wolsal is not on minus again.
A great time by Danik B.
Let's see what Danik B is doing now.
Yeah, it does improve by 1/10 so far.
Okay.
Could be a great time.
Zack. Okay, 58.4. But Danik B slowly...
that's P6 on fastest lap.
Slowly but surely picking up on pace though, that's great, but still 3.5 seconds behind Wolsal. Azox on 3rd, Patrosa on 4th, Speedy with a great race. Then we have Kaku, Chris on 7th, Deska, Voyager on 9th, Berserker on 10th. Then we have Lars and Lab 1 Better Toast out giving up. Shows again for me because he joined, but there's no additional player who has given up here, but just the trigger again for that. But good races for the top 15 at the moment. But Dexter right now only with a disappointing 16th position, and with that he will not get himself that first position.
He's climbing back, but I think he may have fell down like a bit too much in the order, and as well in terms of time to Wolsal.
Yes.
He's 16th, yeah, 20 seconds behind Wolsal, so a massive mistake from Wolsal. Yeah, Dexter would be able to overtake Wolsal, you know, on the track, but like he's not going to be P1 soon. He has plenty of cars to overtake before Berlu is one of them, the first one of them.
Definitely, and this will be very hard for him, because Wolsal has to get himself a penalty and maybe even a full stop, and then even that, it would not be enough. So Wolsal with a great performance yet again. But also Danik B and Azox tried to keep up with the pace, as Patrosa is lurking in the shadow and is not too far behind. So now Patrosa also, you know, 41% tires on par with the others, but a bit more fuel, so maybe he doesn't have to be in the pit for so long. So that's something that I really want to check out now. Will that work out for Patrosa? That he again is working the best with his resources and can also come to Wolsal. We should take the 6 seconds into account, because players will go into the pit stop very, very soon. Maybe in lap number 16 or 17. Maybe Patrosa is squeezing out one more lap with that. We don't know. But right now, lap number 15 is coming into play, and it's getting a bit more foggy, maybe just on my end, or maybe it was just a little bit more distance to clear. But I think the fog is coming right now, or is that just...
I would find it really surprising if the fog were to come.
For me, it's...
I might be mistaken, but I probably... Yeah, I don't know.
It's getting more foggy, doesn't it? Or is it, or am I tripping right now?
I'm in the cave section where... I don't know.
I think it's getting foggy, guys.
Maybe.
Or am I tripping? No, it's definitely, it has definitely gotten more foggy here. Definitely. Like, look at that.
Yeah, a lot more grayish. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Is Deska in M&M?
Nope, he's not.
No. Okay, because there was like 3 drivers. Chris, Speedy, and Deska, and all in a orange kind of team. I was wondering because like the Speedy and Chris are definitely quick guys, but and they are following one another, so probably same strategy as well.
Yeah, but Speedy and Chris are in M&M, but he's not. But yeah, now for me it's full foggy and snowy, yes. So it's very hard. Maybe just an overlay, an interface. But look at that fight for P number 2. Azox, Danikby, and Patroza are fighting it out. Of course, now players know the track by heart after racing it for 16 laps. Let's see, Rosa going for that pit stop, as well as the others. And look at that, Patroza already with the overtake onto Danikby. Very nice, but of course he also has to stay less in the pit stop here due to his 32 liters of fuel. So
he's going to win so much time by just like saving fuel.
Let's see. What is Wolsal doing? Wolsal already on the track again, but we have to take those 6 seconds into consideration. Is Wolsal having that gap now of 6 seconds, or will the others do that? Where is Patroza? Patroza with the same exit as Danikby, but Danikby with 78 liters. Interesting strategy, because they're just fueling for less. Because you just consume more tires. Makes more sense now. So Patroza not really catching up with that, but of course maybe just at the end he just doesn't have to stay longer in the pit stop, so this could be the importance there. But I don't know. So Patroza now ahead of Danikby. Azox 1 second ahead of him though. 70 liters into the tank. And then we have Wolsal still leading the race. 4 seconds ahead of them. So the others were coming a bit closer towards him. Sensei, Yosh, Tommy, and all the others that you see here. Between Azox, Patroza, and Wolsal, and also Danikby, they have already, or they have only gone for 1 pit stop, but go for their second one now, so they will not be in the lead anymore.
Sensei and Yosh are still on the track, so does Tommy.
True.
As well. Where is Wolsal though?
Where's Wolsal?
Wait.
Heck, wait. Wolsal, hallo? Wolsal on P18? Huh? 19?
What happened? I thought a name fell down the order.
Wait a second.
Belwood as well, he stopped on the track.
Maybe he didn't get a checkpoint or something.
Would be strange. Which one would he miss?
There was one checkpoint that he got now. What? Does someone know what happened? What is going on with Wolsal right now? Wolsal big time struggling here. Maybe it's the weather, but Wolsal with a mistake.
I'm really wondering which checkpoint he could have missed.
Nah, I think he didn't miss out on checkpoints. Maybe he just made a mistake.
I'm gonna check on Wolsal's screen.
Yeah, just rewind it and check. Wolsal on P18 right now, so Moppel ahead of him, Deska as well. So right now the race leader is actually Azox. Azox leading the race ahead of Danikby and also Patroza. So they are in the top 3. Azox on first, Patroza on second, Danikby on third. So a very, very messy race, but a nice performance from Azox, who is actually a brother from Barbos. Or the brother from Barbos. Did you know that?
No.
Now you know.
No. Thanks. That's great trivia to know.
Yeah. Do you also know why 404 Arrow is called 404 Arrow? Because the sir was in room 404. Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Knowledge with Turbo. Well, what is Sensei doing again? Sensei with 3.4% of tires, but he is still 12 seconds ahead, but I think it will not be enough for him to take that lead, because he still has to go for 3 more pit stops, including this one. Lap 20 now, lap 30, and then lap 40. But maybe he's gonna change strategies as well, as he's going very conservatively into that one. But it's looking quite nicely, as he's not losing too much time into that. But of course loses his first position to Azox and Patrose, who are having a great fight right now. 0.1 of a second between them, between those two German drivers. Danik B also not too far behind. Actually a good pick that I went with Danik B for that first position today. And tell me, Cat, and everyone else in the chat. Nice seeing all of you. You just joined in time. Okay.
So, on Wosile, he has actually a bug on his tires. They shown has fully changed, but in actuality, they didn't. Like the same crappy tires, and his car feels heavy. He's losing 1.5 seconds per lap. So yeah, he's really struggling. Apparently there is also Wingo Bear who has who may have the same issue. Let me check.
That sucks. That really sucks. That is a Fields Batman. Those things can of course happen, but they shouldn't. Which is quite bad. What can you do against that? We have a great fight between Patrose and Azox, which I can still see with those foggy weather here. As Azox is right now leading, but you cannot really tell that because Patrose with a great line into the lead again. Very inside approach for Patrose. And he has a temporary lead here ahead of his German colleague playing for Team Egon Kowalski, yeah? If you know who that is. If not, then it's fine. Don't bother with Egon, yeah? Only if you know
No,
him.
yeah, sorry, I was out of the of the discussion. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's fine. Just don't look it up, and it's fine. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's fine.
Ignore. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like with Wosile out of contention, like Danik B is in great shape. So does Azox, and yeah, the man, the legend, Patros is doing well as well. But yeah, it's unfortunate, and for the driver, but we can't do anything about it.
Yes, we cannot do anything about that, unfortunately. But sometimes you just are unlucky. So what can you do against that? So Patrose in the lead. Azox was leading for a long time, but maybe there are some sort of pit stop differences, because look at that. Azox, of course, 15 liters, but both will pit at the same time. You should consider that. Azox was just pitting for less, but Patrose with that also has to pit for less, and maybe the last couple of laps, because he still has more liters in the tank. So you can maybe say like that, Patrose was already standing 2 seconds longer in the pit stop than Azox was doing that. So that's maybe one advantage that Patrose has right now. Danik B on third. 4 seconds behind, gradually losing more time. Berserker and Speedy also in the fight, but 8 seconds behind third position. Then Moppel on P6, not having a DC. Kaku on 7th. Also has to go for a pit stop very soon. Sevi Chris on 8th. Sensei and then Dexter coming closer. Actually overtaking Deska.
Dexter is coming back.
Doesn't look like he has issue with his tires. Currently sitting at 17. He's scheduled to pit really soon. Same time as Azox. I think pretty much everyone in top 6. Maybe not Kaku, but and Sensei, but
Kaku should definitely pit.
Yeah,
with 3.6 liters.
Oh yes, yeah, you better pit, my man. Yeah,
the speedy.
No.
Dexter with the speeding
greedy.
ticket here.
A bit too greedy.
And with that, from P10 down to probably P15 or something like that for Dexter.
Yeah,
so
all that good work goes for nearly nothing for Dexter.
Yeah, so 10 seconds you need to stand still. And there we go. So Sensei on first right now. Maybe he's also one of the contenders to win the race. I don't know what he's up for, but right now he has good fuel management and good tire management. 50% and 52 liters. Maybe we're gonna see a surprise that also Katusu, aka Pax, has some issues. But the Trackmania Formula League staff will look into that. Of course, it's still like just testing out things, testing the boundaries. And that's kind of how it goes. So, you know, players have issues. It's a fun event though. Of course, now money's on the line, but still, you know, big props to them to pull this one off.
Yeah. And looks like, I don't know if it's a coincidence or something like this, but the pit issues really started by when the fog actually started. And could it be related? I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But yeah, it was not the first pit stop from all the guys who are having issues, and could be related. You never know. It's Trackmania plus the plugin are still like really complex softwares where you could find bugs and any irregularities in the code, most likely in the Trackmania code, probably a lot with a lot of bugs, but yeah, it's unfortunate to have race being like really destroyed by those bugs, but we can't do anything about it. Probably the staffs are going to do something about it, but it's really difficult to do a redo or does not count or something like this, because every driver that were not like penalized by the mistake, they still drove a great race, and it would be unfair for them to punish them for not having a good result. Maybe you halved all the score, so if you had a bad race, the bad score is still divided by 2, so it's still a bad score, but a less bad one. I don't know. It will be up to the TMFL staff at that point.
Yeah, I see what you are talking about there, but of course it's very hard to just get someone else a different scoreline due to the fact that there is a different scenario for every player. Maybe this player was not seeing the fog, maybe this player was seeing the fog. How can you really objectify that to give someone more or less points because of that? Also with the tires and stuff. You know, every player tries their best, and that's hardly possible to do that. So I would just say, just go ahead, race, and then after that we're just gonna check how everything is going. But even if you get those amount of points, you know, it's only 1 out of 10 races, and you will not just fall down from P1 to P20 because of that. Of course, it will have some damage, but you know, you can come back from that with other good races. But it's very hard to distinguish that, as we have Azox and Patrosa still very close by here. We could see a very nice finish between them, but just when I say that, it's Azox making a small mistake, as you might have seen there. Just a little bit laggy, and also Neil is out, giving up. Not sure what happened there to Neil, but another two-wheel player giving up.
So bad for a P28, 27 driver, Neil. No.
Yeah, lap 27 giving up. Is that a coincidence? I'm not so sure. But I mean, we already had a race where both of them have given up as well. I think it was race number 1 or 2, where both Neil and also Aserich were giving up. So very unfortunate. Maybe they're risking a bit too much on those kind of maps. So they should maybe work on the consistency, which is very hard though. I know it myself because I'm coming from a time attack environment as well. And then all of a sudden driving endurance maps, dude, it's so difficult. And it's so hard to just do that, what Patrosa and Azox are doing right now. Like really, it's really, really difficult to do that. So of course, I'm only bantering when I say that they are, yeah, I didn't say that they are bad, but you know, just bantering about the position. P27 is incredible. Like really, even in Div 1, it's so hard to get that. I would never be able to do this. So Neil, keep it up, as well as Asterich. You guys are great players, and probably something that no one of us could ever reach. So there we go.
So it would be interesting at some points to watch the gap between Yosh Sensei and Patrosa and Azox. They are on similar strategy. Patrosa and Azox are in the same strategy. Sensei and Yosh are in the same one as well. Sensei and Yosh decide to go for a 4 pit stop strategy, whereas Patrosa and Azox and pretty much all the rest wants to go for a 5 pit stop strategy, and the last pit stop is scheduled at around lap 40 for both strategy. So their last pit stop will be at the same time. It's really a matter of how well you build that gap when you're still on the track when the other is pitting. That is going to be really interesting, because last week we had a race where we had 2 strategy competing. Dexter one be really aggressive, really greedy with his tires, really into performance, and Patros being a bit more conservative with his tires and fuel as well. And he lost out just because he didn't really had enough pace to stay in front, unfortunately, to keep that gap from Dexter aggressivity. But yeah, it could be another interesting race where strategy could play a big role.
Maybe, and also how like really your hard go into turns. Like maybe those 3% would even be important for someone to not slide out or to slide out. But right now, Azox and Patrosa's strategy just really seems to work out well. Danik B is going for the same one, but also Sensei was still quite far ahead, and he only has to go for 2 more pit stops, but so do have the others, because they are going for this one now and then for the other one, and
Sensei has only 1 pit stop scheduled. Like if he stays on
true, yeah, true,
laps,
never mind, yeah, true, he's only
every 10 laps, so yeah. He has made 10, 20. The only difference here is
29?
Pitted at 29 instead of 30. But
makes sense though.
It doesn't really change that much, to be fair.
It makes sense though, because then he can go for 9 laps for the end and then have less.
Yeah, you have less to stress with the tires.
Maybe it works.
Plus you technically put a little bit less fuel in the tank as well. So it could be a great strategy by Sensei and Yosh as well, who's mirroring that strategy. But yeah, I don't know. Between Azox and Patros, they are really, really strong on this racetrack. Would be great to see Azox win.
So now we might have actually the real gap between Sensei, Azox, and Patrosa. So Patrosa in the pit, Azox still going for 1 more lap. I'm not sure if that was a mistake, but 5 liters in the tank. It is quite close. I'm not sure why he's going for that, because he will probably coast into the pit stop.
Definitely.
3 liters left. I mean, okay, there's only a couple of more turns, but that is very greedy from Azox. Maybe he just wants to have more at the end. But 2 liters, Azox, okay, this will be close, but doable for him, and also not losing too much. Only 1 second though, but very, very greedy strategy. Also Berserker going for 1 more lap there. But look at that, half a liter in the tank. But right now Sensei is 15 seconds out of Patrosa, and both on the same strat. And it seems like Sensei might actually win this race, because that's the gap that we're speaking of right now. Both players in this case, Patrosa and Sensei still have to go for one more pit stop, and Sensei is winning right now. He is in the lead.
So both Sensei and Patrosa have one pit stop to do, and there is a 15-second gap. So is Patrosa fast enough to catch up on the track? Is the real question there, because Sensei still has to watch out for his tires and the fuel a tiny bit. Plus, the last pit stop from Patrosa will be a really quick one, compared to Sensei, who will need to put a lot more compared to Patrosa. Plus, Patrosa, we have seen him like really watching for his fuel. He would be able to stay less in the pit because he tends to pit with 30 liters of fuel left in the tank. So. Yeah, I also like the position of Patrosa. Can he close that gap on the track though? It's really, really important.
Yeah, so Ratchet, if you have no fuel, your car will be in freewheel. So you just roll. And if you hit 0 kilometers per hour, you will DNF. But you still have that momentum that you have when you just are in freewheel. So 0 liters means freewheel, and you're coasting around and just have no more acceleration, but still you can roll. That is a good point. Very tricky in the situation when you enter the pit stop, because you have to really be careful of how much you brake there. Because if you're like at 30 kilometers and you have to go into the pit, it will be quite hard because you cannot accelerate in that one. But Sensei, great race, and I was actually not expecting that we maybe see a race won by strategy. Not sure, maybe he had some other advantages. Maybe the fog is not there because maybe it's not like here on my screen. But great race.
You still have like you don't see 2 meters in front of you.
Yeah, I don't see 2 meters in front of me. You do, right?
Oh yeah. I see all the map. I still have like the overlay, the texture, but I see well in front of me.
Okay, that's nice. I don't have it. That's what feels bad, man. But hey, whatever. So Patrosa and Azox 4 seconds apart. Josh, same strategy, and still ahead of them, but has a little bit less fuel than Sensei. I'm not sure when they're going to pit. It is lap 38 where they have to pit, right? Yes, lap 38 at the end. So 20 liters should be enough for them. This is looking quite nice, as we have, not really too much happening right now, I would say. We could maybe check where Dexter is, who has gotten that penalty. Shorty is ahead of him. Then Golden Nugget, Naruko, Krakus, Danik B, Tommy, Moppel, Azox, Patrosa, Josh, and Sensei. And we have a lot of players who have accidentally DNF'd, like Neil, for example. Then also Katusu, who's now in the chat, is on P38. Also has DNF'd or is out of the race. Belul, Shumi, Ruffy, Aserich, Volsky, and Betatos. So a lot, 8 players already who are out of this race.
Aseri, who so far has the fastest lap, hasn't been beaten by anyone. No, I don't think it's going to be the case. It would be really tricky to try and go for fastest lap. I think it's something like just flows into you. You just happen to drive a great lap. To try and force it, you could go for a lot more mistakes because you intentionally risking too much in order to win crucial seconds. So I think Hastri is going to keep that fastest lap.
I think so as well, that Aster is gonna take that one. Very, very unfortunate. But Neil, maybe a tip: unbind the button before the race, because accidentally DNF should never be a case or a problem in any way. You can also bind. It literally takes like 5 seconds or something like that. But that's unfortunate because you're such a great driver, and seeing you DNFing accidentally is just heartbreaking to see. So,
True.
Yeah, you have to learn this one the hard way. Also, there's a button on your mouse, bind it, which is probably DNF as well. Not sure why the developers did that. And there we go.
So, Sensei in the pit.
Josh will be there as well, 2 liters in the tank. Patros is 40% tires, has yet to pit for his last time for now, so he's going to retake the lead. His last pit stop will be really quick though. Sensei, who just came back on the track with 90 liters in the tank.
Should be more than enough. So Sensei on his way to maybe win this race. And I see a lot of players. I mean, you also said that Wolsel's pit stop didn't work. Also from Pex, didn't work by lap 22. I couldn't turn my car anymore. On lap 16, my tires stopped working. I drove with 20% tires. Lap 20. Ah, dude. Jesus Christ, that sounds like a lot of issues that the Trackmania Formula League staff has to look into. Maybe it's caused by the fog or by the snowstorm, but it's only visual, so I don't know what it is. Maybe something correlating with a connection or something like this. I don't know, but unfortunate, very, very bad to see that that this bug has occurred to you and also to other players. So that's why we have this swap of positions as Patrose goes into the pit stop, and now we're gonna see the real gap between the players. Moppel also.
No way. Sensei is really far away.
Yes.
Even he's already behind. Patron's already behind. Moppel is leading. So temporarily we have Moppel leading a race. Hasn't disconnected yet.
Wow.
That's really harsh for me. I really love the guy. I really love Moppel. It's so unfortunate every time that he disconnects. What happened to him last week. But he's leading a race. Not for long. He is scheduled to pit at 40, and Azox will also pit. Probably he could go for another one, but he most likely is going to pit.
Yeah, you should pit. You should see the tank driving through the corner there. It's really, really hard to handle the car with that, and Azox is on second place with that, just behind Moppel. So maybe Moppel will overtake Azox here, also with a better pit graph in general. But let's see who stands longest in the pit. Also Danik B now in the pit lane joining them. Also Astronaut here, but Astronaut 1 lap behind the others. Who's gonna exit it first? That's the question. Moppel is right now ahead of Azox. And then we see Patrosa, who is on second place. But look at that race. A very good race from Sensei. Very nice.
Very good race. Like, I was talking about the fact that can Patros catch up on the track? And it was actually the opposite. It was Sensei who widened the gap between himself and Patros. So Josh doesn't look like he can catch up to Patros. It's really close, less than a second. So it's still really well placed to utilize the mistake by Patros. But we know that Patros is quite consistent on the track, and it's been 41 laps there, so he knows the map quite well. But Sensei is driving out of his mind for this race, and his pace is really impressive.
Yes. It's very nice to see that, but Sensei has made a small mistake, so he lost a little bit of time. But we have a good fight between Josh, Patrose. And I wanted to say Moppel, but he is apparently 9 seconds behind. Also, Patrose has created a huge gap between him and Azox. So I think it's caused by maybe a mistake, and then also Azox squeezing out that one more lap where he has lost like 2 to 3 seconds. Also, Walsa with the speeding in the pit lane, but Walsa is completely out of this race. So let's focus on that top 5. Maybe Dexter can even lurk his way into that, because he is on 6th place right now, overtaking Danik B, who has fallen behind. So a very messy race today, Atypick. I just have to say that very, very messy race that we have witnessed today. Damn.
Yeah, and you have to know that Dexter had a 10-second penalty. So if you add 10 seconds to the gap that Dexter has to some players, he's suddenly in front of Moppel.
Yeah. He would have been 4th.
Yes.
And the gap would not wide too much between him and Patrose, because Patrose and Dexter are right now tied in the leaderboard. And maybe...
Patrose had a bad qualifying though, and I think Dexter had scored some point at least.
I think so as well, that Dexter was like on P8 or something. Like he has scored some points. So maybe Dexter could have even been in the lead in some way.
in front of Patros.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a
No,
bit-
all good. Good fight there between them in the last couple of laps. Josh versus Patros. Patrose. Yeah, Matrose, Patrose.
And Sensei, great. Keep that 13-second gap to Josh and Patros.
Very messy race. Like, if you were saying to me, Josh and Sensei in top 2 today, dude.
No way.
No way. I mean, not to meant in a bad way, but I think that it's just very nice to see that they have done or have are able to do this one the best here. Of course, maybe it's luck involved.
Bad landing for Patros. Yeah, time. Yeah, lost half a second to Josh.
Yeah, guys, I cannot disable the fog. I already tried it. I cannot disable the fog. I pressed F5. I typed in /cache. It didn't work out. So for me, it's a fog race. So maybe not the best POV to follow here for the end. So you can also watch out Atypick, who's also streaming his POV right now. And maybe you're gonna see a bit more than just 2 blocks.
Yeah, we've seen the map. We had some beautiful weather. So
I think Voyager is playing in fog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's always up for those things.
Explain a lot why he has fell down so much. He was like P4 at some point.
Yeah.
Even P2. And he has fallen down too much.
Just a little bit, but look at the fight for P2. Josh versus Patrose. We have 2 more laps after this one. Both are looking quite strong. Of course, it looks very dangerous as they're tailoring themselves through the turns. But it is Patrose now leading temporarily, but Josh still not slowing down. But Patrose with a better line here, but 20 liters of fuel should be enough. Great fight though, it's neck and neck in lap 45. Imagine you race for that amount of time and both players are dead even. Now Josh leading again.
Plus they had different strategy as well.
Yeah, true that. They had different strategies, and now Josh is maybe getting himself that 2nd place. It's very cool to see that Sensei will win this race. I'm not sure if he can really like slip away 15 seconds, but like how? Like how could he do that? Like it's almost impossible to just lose 15 seconds in 2 laps, maybe just because of pressure, but even then you just, you know, just cruise around the track. There are no poles that you can hit, maybe some edges, but even that you can just take safe. He has a good delta as well of 58.17 SPB and an average of 0.7.
On low tires, he's driving quite fast. Like you see Wasai lose like 1 second and a half when on low tires. Here he's only losing 1 second to his best time, Sensei. So that's still great driving that we can see there.
Yeah, and he is in the last lap. So Sensei will, I think, win his first race. And we have 3 different race winners in the first 3 races of the 4th season from the Trackmania Formula League. Very cool to see that. And with that, also Sensei jumps from a P number... Where is he? What position is he on, actually? Let me right now take a look. He is on P number 8, so he will jump a tremendous amount of positions, even overlapping Golden Nugget, who is still on P number 46. So, lap 46, I mean. And Sensei will take it. GG's to him, and a German winner again in this race. A very nice performance from Sensei, 16 seconds ahead. And it also seems that Josh will win over Patrose. What is happening today? Josh on P number 2. Damn, what a great race.
He's low on fuel, but right on point. Patrosa maybe a bit too much fuel in the tank. He could have, stayed 1 second less in the pit.
Yes.
And Patros take P3. Dexter to P4, right?
No, it's
Moppel. Still on the... so Dexter is P5.
5. Azox P6. Danik B on 7th. Then we have Tommy on 8th. Dan on 9th, also a great race. Then Shorty on 10th. Sevikris on 11th. Krakus on 12th. Speedy on 13th. Wingobear on P number 14, then Deska, Wosal, Freezer, Joey, Golden Nugget, and Peking Ant in the top 20. So good race today, but very, very weird one, but that is it. Yeah. Sensei wins it. Damn, who would have thought that?
Yeah, no one. We went for wild guess as well, I think, with Danik B and Voyager. Danik B being the best ranked of both our guests. So yeah, it was a great race, messy as you said. Really like the innovation of having a fog and visibility being affected by it. It's sometimes a bit strange. You don't really know how it's really affecting some players. You could feel a disadvantage if you were to drive just like you were, like watching to block. Being able to see only 2 blocks ahead of you would be a nightmare to drive that 45 minutes race. So, but yeah, love the addition. Could be polished a bit more. Unfortunately, probably due to Trackmania being Trackmania. But yeah, great race so far.
Yes, I also agree. It was a good race. Sensei and Yosh, definitely a surprise. Also Moppel on P4, love to see it. Also Azox holding strong. Just a good race, good points for them. And then of course we have the fastest lap being set by Aserich. So he's still getting 10 points.
Yeah, that's at least this. Yeah, that's it feels bad for Aserich. He just need to unbind.
Yeah, guys, Timeattack Andy's unbind the dings, unbind the give up, you know?
Yes.
It takes 2 seconds. Well, that's it.
Yo.
That's it. Thanks for joining, Mr. Atypick. I still, of course, have a cast after this. Who would have thought?
Mr. Buzzy.
It is Cup of the Vey that I'm casting together with Valen. And I'm looking forward to that. I will just play the maps a little bit on stream now and talk a little bit with chat. And thank you so much for joining, guys. Also, go ahead and give Atypick a follow. I hope that he streams a little bit more of Trackmania at some point, maybe, or just also PlanetSide. He plays
really
and streams. So go ahead and give him a follow. But thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, sorry.
See ya.
I was doing something else, sorry.
Okay, all good. See ya, mate.